decided to have a beer with you today, bud. I know you're not drinking, but I figured it was like 5 o'clock. I was like, I'll have a beer with this guy. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
What? What?
I just want to watch that.
No, you can't be in here. Oh my God.
I mean, I didn't see it, but I believe you.
All right, sorry about that. Welcome to another episode of I Didn't See It, but I Believe You. I'm Doug.
I'm Joel, and this is episode 161.
Oh my God, dude! Just non-stop, just freaking.
Doug the dad.
Yes.
Look, dude. Look at my hair.
Dude, did you know that they're doing a Twister Part 2 or something like that?
You fucking bring that stupid shit up to me. Listen. Just because these people don't know, because they don't fucking have my phone. Doug has been sending me that dumbass link for days. I responded the first time. And just, yeah, they're making a sequel to Twister. They actually announced it during 2020. Like around June or July of 2020, I remember being in lockdown and reading that and being like, wait, what the fuck? And at the time being like, this is an awful idea.
But everybody's dead.
That's what I said. So even if we just look at who's dead in the movie, just in the movie, not the actual actors, you don't have Carrie Elways, you don't have any of the bad guys really. And then Jamie Gertz leaves him like what, three quarters of the way through the movie. So she's gone. And then like, I know most people probably don't realize this, but if we start looking at who's dead outside of there, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows Bill Paxton and Philip Seymour Hoffman aren't with us anymore. But one of the main tornado chasers is a cat named Todd Field, who is a fucking Academy Award winning director now, who has his first movie in 16 years out in the theater right now. And it's just like, he ain't going to be in Twister 2, bro. So who's it going to be? Helen Hunt? That guy from they're not getting Alan Ruck either because he's all Succession now and shit. He's not going to be in Twister 2, whatever. Like, I just don't see who the fuck could they get. Yeah, Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
He's in Succession.
Yeah, he's one of the brothers. He's super good in it.
He was in Spin City.
He was in My City doing spin about why he was doing speed when he got caught by the cops. They were like, "Are you doing speed?" And he was like, really? "No, he's in the movie Speed."
God damn, he's just a little light beam of sunlight just shining through all of us.
They used to call him Alan the Little Firecracker. Oh, fuck me, man. Hey, babe! Could you bring me a Juul filter? Let's see if that works. I've never tried that before. How have you been?
I've been all right, dude. I've been so freaking busy. I am
Yes, it worked. It fucking worked. Zing, zong. Thanks, babe.
No, I've been busy. I've just been work and yeah. That's why we didn't have an episode last week. It was our anniversary party, just balls to the wall. And I had a wedding, and I'm going to a wedding this weekend.
You preaching?
Yeah, preaching to the choir. Don't get married. Don't get married. If you get married on your time.
Not on anyone else's watch. You're not getting married on my watch.
I'm excited. We're going down to Galveston. It'll be pretty cool. Send you the address. Come see me. Dude, speaking of that, when's the last time you booked an Airbnb?
Are we going to talk about that? Because I can pull up some articles if you want. I mean, we have to be thinking of the same shit. I've never booked an Airbnb. I've been there once or twice with people who have. So I've never dealt with it. But I know that
same thing because I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
well, you're going to talk about like how nobody's renting Airbnbs anymore?
No, I didn't know that. I just did not know that.
Hit us with the one too, Dougie.
But we got a room. We're about to get a room. It was $75 a night. And when you go to check out, it was like
$2,000.
It's like, and the cleaning fee is like an extra night essentially. The cleaning fee. Oh, the cleaning fee is like $95. It's like what? And like all these hotels and motels and are just like dirt cheap. So I'm like, we are not getting an Airbnb anymore.
That's so fucking crazy because that's what I was going to talk about. And you're just bringing anecdotal evidence to back up what I was going to talk about. That a few days ago, someone tweeted, it like made its way to Reddit. Someone tweeted like, has anyone else noticed a massive dropping in their bookings in the past couple months? They were like, we used to be always at 80-90% capacity, and now we're at 0%. And for like weeks. And all these other people were like, yeah, us too. And it made it to, I think, the work reform or fuck landlords or one of those fucking things on Reddit. And everybody in the comments was like, well, yeah, and describing what you're talking about. And then there was an article put out by one of those fucking business websites that was basically like, at this point, it's cheaper to get a hotel and not worry about any of the random bullshit that comes from renting from a strange random person than it is to use Airbnb anymore. Just like, and I'm sure you've noticed this, it's outrageous to get an Uber or a Lyft at a big city right now. The pricing, dude, the way they do surge pricing or whatever they want to call it to get away with not calling it surge pricing is nuts. It was $66 for me to go 11 miles one direction on last Saturday night. And I left it, I would have been leaving at 5 p.m. So I know it's Saturday, but 5 p.m., $66 for 11 miles?
I mean, dude, even like we live max 6 miles away from ACL, and those ACL Ubers, I mean, I wasn't ordering one, but everybody around me, they're like $75 just to go to Riverside, like, you know, Riverside or just across the highway from the I-35 from the festivals. Like, man,
that's outrageous. That's worse than the taxis were. It's worse than the taxis were, and it's more dangerous because say what you want to say about taxis. I know they didn't have a great reputation whenever they went away, and that's likely why they were so easy to get rid of or push out of the way for a while. But like, I've had quite a few Ubers or Lyfts where I am very nervous through most of the ride.
Oh yeah, dude. No, well, I mean, down in Austin, RIP Lone Star cab, the blue cabs, at least you got a freaking show out of that. Those drivers, I don't know how they had a viable business or whatever. But dude, I remember one time a van picked us up. This dude was like just driving on the wrong side of the road, looking back at me going, yeah, you got an extra cigarette? I'm like, I don't smoke. He's like, you don't smoke? I'm like, no, I don't smoke. I'm like, hey dude, do you mind paying attention to the road? He's just like, dude, it was all the time. One time I saw this girl get in the cab I was on a date. It was it's time to go separate ways. Didn't work out. And she was with her friends and they got her into a cab and she was taking off and she went around the corner. She yelled out the window, like at me something. And her friends just like, and all of a sudden she's like, the cab probably went 20 feet. And stopped, and the taxi driver got out, opened the door, and practically ripped her out of the cab. And she just...
For what, was she too drunk or what?
No, I saw somebody get ripped out of the cab before. She didn't get ripped out of the cab. She screamed at the taxi driver, and he stopped, and she got out of the cab. And apparently, like within like 20 feet, he already started like hitting on her.
Hell yeah. Hey, baby, little mama, where you going now?
No, but I remember seeing like a Riverside one time. I mean, a Red River, excuse me, like somebody like getting like a taxi driver like ripping somebody out of a cab. I feel like we're all together for that one. Whatever. I feel like I remember that too. And it was on 35 when somebody in our group had decided they had to pee and badgered the fucking driver so hard that he pulled over on 35 at 4 a.m. so 11 people could pile out of whatever fucking car we clowned ourselves into so that our friend could pee. Didn't one of them walk home?
Oh, that was a different date. Same person. Same person for no reason. I love him, and I'm sure he's listening to this. I love you. Did not need to walk 8 miles to the house that night.
Hear that, dude? I remember I was walking after some dumb shit. One time I was dating this lovely person. She
sounds like a bitch.
No, she was actually really sweet. And like I was working at Whole Foods. We were working together.
Oh, okay.
And like our hours never lined up. You know, I'm kind of a homebody, and I never really wanted to go over to her place. You know, just nothing.
Me and you. I mean, you're like, our hours never lined up. I was like, we tried.
We tried. And so like, we were I think we were calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, but I was just never there. I mean, bad boyfriend. And I'll never forget, she was like, hey, it's the Walking Dead series. What's the first episode? Premiere?
Season premiere.
Season premiere. We all me and my friends. She's like, you need to come down here. If you still want this to, she's pretty much telling me if you want to still be together, you got to come here and hang out with us. You're off. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I took a Uber down there, or a Lyft. And I remember walking in and I sat and they were all so excited. I was like, oh, aren't you excited? I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here. I don't watch this show, and kind of almost practically forgot that I'm even in this relationship, which is so shitty to say. But and then but we're just working all the damn time. But anyways, and I'll never forget. She's like, do you mind if we go sit outside and talk with my aunt? She's like, so is this done? I'm like, yeah, we should call it, And she's like, okay. She's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get you a cab. I'm like, what? I go, what the hell are you gonna get me a cab for? She's like, how'd you get here? I'm like, I got a cab. I got an Uber. I'm like, I can get my own. And and I was like, you know what? I don't need one. I'm just gonna walk home. I live on the east side, and this bar was all the way down south, down. What bar were you at? Camino South. Okay. So anyway,
walk for sure.
9 miles.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful walk, but damn,
you made it.
I made it. I got home.
Hell yeah! I'm
happy I got to tell you all that story.
No, that was fascinating. I feel like everybody really appreciated that. One time in Victoria, I was living with somebody, one of our homegirls, and we were at her parents' house or her mom's house or whatever, where we were staying, and she was just drunk. And at the time, I didn't drink. I just smoked a lot and took Adderall and shit, and it wasn't really when people got drunk. It just when you or Jeff or when y'all got drunk, I tried to deal with it. I would always kind of dip out eventually though, because y'all were just so aggressively annoying when you would drink back then. And and when you're not drunk, it's it's so hard to get into.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're such a delight to be around.
No, I just said I was always fucking on something else anyway. I was that. You know what it's like? Those. There's a big difference between us all going out and hanging out by the tower and shit and doing all that cool shit, or being in my parents' driveway, or just being around y'all when y'all are random drunk. You know what I mean? Back then, I didn't drink, so I was always all right, well, I guess this is it for me. But it was fun. It was always fun, but I hated being around people I didn't know or that weren't y'all that were acting like that. It's way less funny when you don't know the person. So this girl, I knew her very well, but she just never acted like this, and it was fucking getting on my nerves. And I was just it was 2 a.m, and I was like, man, Victoria's not that big. I was like, I'm fucking getting out of here. And I have a car at the time, or I did, maybe, but I was walking for some reason. And we were all the way down by that Circle K on the south side of Victoria by the Gorilla vacuum cleaner guy.
Yeah, Tom's Vacuum.
Yeah. And
Navarro and Rio Grande.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna walk to the De La Garza's, which was not all the way to the mall or anything, but it's pretty far still though. And I started walking.
That's a trek.
Dude, I started walking and I made it. And I was like, holy fuck, I fucking made it, dude. I'll never forget getting into that McDonald's on Navarro and being like, oh shit, I'm getting fucking close, bro. And taking that ride at the McDonald's and being like, I wasn't as close as I thought. So anyway, I get there, knock on the door. I'm knocking on all the windows and these motherfuckers are assed out and no one's answering. And I'm panicking. I'm like, I can't walk back.
The asses out.
Their asses were out, bro. All of them. No, and I couldn't ring the doorbell because his parents would wake up. So I was like, fuck. And older De La Garza had a house, and it was maybe a half a mile away. So I trekked over to that, and by that point, I was beat, bro. I was like, I have got to get in this house. Knock on the door. They're assed out. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? And it was, at this point, it was fucking freezing. So all I had was my hoodie. Remember my ACAB hoodie? Or whatever it said. So, or ACAB. A change of pace, ACOP.
Yeah, something like that.
So I crawled, I like barreled myself in it, and I crawled in the back of Andre's pickup truck, and I slept in it for 2 hours until I couldn't take it anymore. And so I went and I was like, I'm gonna try their back door, and that fucking thing was unlocked. So I snuck in their house and just curled up in a ball in their living room and went to sleep. And in the morning, Joe, who lived there, Joe G, he woke up and I heard him go, "Hey, when the fuck did he get here?" And I just curled up laughing like, guys, the broke in motherfuckers.
I remember one time we all lived together. We had a party at our house, and we had to kick everybody out because it just got too out of hand because those cops kept coming back. Remember the second time the cops came back and they go, "Douglas, get over!" He said, "Douglas." It's like, "Yes, sir." There's like fucking people everywhere. Like, what do we say what do we tell them we're gonna do if we had to come back here? I'm like, "Take me to jail." Take me to jail. And he's like, "That's exactly what we're gonna do." I was like, "God damn it." And he's like, "We really don't want to take anybody to jail tonight. It's the last thing we want to do. Please get everybody out of here." I was like, "Damn."
Dude, I remember being in my room on the second time and people kept hiding in my room. And I was like, "Guys, you got to get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my room."
I went into your room just to talk to you. Like, God damn, that was crazy. I remember closing your door. There was some chick just standing by the door. I'm like,
these fucking people.
I just turned around. She's just like standing there. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I was begging them, "Please get the fuck out of my room." They were all sitting on my bed looking at my shit. It's you fucking dick.
Party where those guys try to set that pizza box on fire?
Nah, I wasn't there for that. When you beat up that was after a show, and I went back to Cuero because I had to pick up Lacey from the airport the morning. And y'all fucking threw a party. And those fucking dickheads showed up and got the wrath of all the fucking big old metal dickheads like you guys that were there. Because wasn't like Eli and all them there that night too? That's just not a good night to be a dick.
I don't know, but I know it was me and Norman, and those dudes fucking got they had to deal with me. That was pretty wild. That's when I was absolutely insane, though.
Did you ever hit any of your friends when you lived there? I'm just kidding. You did, but it was an accident.
How was that an accident?
Because
I deliberately punched you in the face.
No, but you weren't thinking straight. So weren't thinking straight, bro. It's an honest mistake. Did I show you this yet?
It wasn't my finest moment.
No, you just weren't thinking straight. Did you see? Have I showed you this yet?
Is that a wand?
Yeah. Okay. So when we went to Universal Studios I had my year anniversary last week. It's been a fucking year since we got married, which is crazy to think about.
Oh shit! Yeah, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man. We're getting divorced actually, but we made it that year before we decided that.
So let's just make it a year. How do you feel about the expressions like "oh yeah" and whatnot? Oh my god. I don't think I'll realize how terrifying it is to look over your shoulder and a small child is peeping around the corner staring at you. It is
I think it's precious.
Terrifying. Dude, it's just jarring because there's no shadows, there's no nothing. It's just a little human. And it's like, are you? Oh my God. That is horrifying. What is that? Oh my God. Dude, he's literally doing this. He's doing this.
For the people who can't see, I'm holding a small child, and Doug is creeping around the corner acting like a small child. And this whole thing has gone way off the rails.
This is what he's doing.
Get back on the screen.
Hey, I'm gonna mute it real quick.
Okay. So anyway, Caroline brought that fucking doll home. That's why we're getting divorced. Just kidding. We're never getting divorced. I love my wife very much, but she brought that fucking doll home, and it scares the shit out of me. She put it in the bedroom, and I was like, "Hey, that's not actually gonna work for me. That's gonna go somewhere else."
Where did she find? Where did she find? Like a thrift store or something, or is it something that she's been wanting? What the heck?
So she went to TwitchCon.
That's what she came back with.
She came back with a bunch of shit, but actually, here, let me show you something awesome she came back with too. Hold on.
Yeah. So Oh, okay. Not
Okay, I'm back. So, one of the homies gave us this for an anniversary present. She got to meet so many sweet people, just really good sweet people that she's known from her streaming and shit, and finally got to meet a lot of them in person. Excuse me, those of them who weren't at the wedding. But anyway,
Man, hold on. I feel so bad that I'm going to have to go and take all the toys out of somebody's room in about 1 minute.
okay, but listen, you can't take this toy from my room. It's a baby Kermit from Muppet Babies, and he sings, but we're never going to take him out of the box to find out if he sings good or not. But Muppet Baby shit is incredibly hard to come by.
The only issue is with it's like yeah, if he's there chilling, it's not about that. It's about the potty mouths that we have.
Can he hear me?
No, but he can hear me. So it's
that's
like,
true. That's fair. That's fair. So you have to be like on your best behavior. I get it.
Yeah, and like, sometimes I don't even know he's there, and I'll be like, F this, F that, and all of a sudden he's like, hey!
Does he have glue mouth where like everything you say he repeats, or he's older than that, right? I mean,
that's called rubber mouth.
No. But yeah, so anyway, back to this. So when we were on our honeymoon, we went to Universal. I told you guys all this before, but we went to Universal Studios because I focused more on that fact that I was slowly dying the entire time I was there. So anyway, we went to Harry Potter World, and the one thing that Caroline wanted more than anything was to be, and it's so funny because she is the most extroverted introvert I've ever met. And she reminds me a lot of me in that way. We both put ourselves into situations we don't want to be in, and then once we're in them, we enjoy them. But if you were to ask us if we want to do shit like that, we'd be like, fuck no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joel. I remember your vow, dude. When you say that, I remember your vows. I remember you holding her hand. I remember you holding her hand, looking deep into her eye, and you're just going, and you go, and you're like, oh shit, and then I remember you say, sweet, my sweet C. Can't we're calling her Sweet C. You remember that?
Yeah. I said you remind me a lot of me.
You said, my sweet C, you remind me a lot of myself. So I think this is my sweet C, you remind me a lot of yourself at your age. So I think this is going to work famously.
Swimmingly.
So
anyway, you fuckhead. We were at Universal. I took her to Harry Potter, and she said the one thing she really wanted, besides to ride all the rides, was to get. So you go to this. Okay, you can go to the store and buy a wand if you want or whatever. But like, if you know enough about Harry Potter, you know, like Diagon Alley and all that shit, where he goes to get all the school supplies and whatnot. And I know you just said you don't like and whatnot, but I use it a lot. What's up, baby?
We never really got to it. Like I didn't know if it's because you said whatnot. Did you say whatnot or did I say whatnot?
I said it, then you brought up, do I like it when people say it? Then you talked to Link, and then we moved on to other stuff, and okay. I just remember.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. It's almost like an insult. You know what I mean? It's like this, and that, and whatnot. It's like, what do you mean and whatnot? Also, before we go on, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I mean, it's been years now since I've known because it's been out so long, but I was a late bloomer to Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley. Mm-hmm. You know what that is? You know what that spells? Diagonally.
Oh shit! And it is because you have to walk the through. Yeah, crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's very weird. Interesting. Yeah. It's not delivery. It's Diagon Alley.
And nobody pointed it out to me.
Oh, really?
A lot of stuff's happening to me that I'm finding that's like almost like weird, real, like real like factoids.
Right, right.
Really bizarre. A lot of them are happening to me right now that I'm not even seeing on Instagram or anything, that I'm just looking up stuff and they're just happening. Beating
the algorithm. Doug, a lot of things are happening to me. I'm getting ahead of the algorithm here. Doug's in Tron world running away from the algorithm. Go, Joel, something's happening to me.
I'm like, man, what is the lead singer of him up to these days? And I look him up, and it's just him posing in front of a Madagascar 2 poster. And I'm like, what? And apparently, he's a voice actor in Madagascar 2.
That's fascinating.
Well, you ever seen that in a freaking post?
No,
in a meme?
never. Let's make one. We'll make one today. We'll make one when we get off. You know what's interesting? Collective synergy here, because I was watching you know Loudwire. It's the premier metal YouTube channel.
I actually really get a lot of info from there.
Same. So they put out some of their shit's bullshit though, like on that BuzzFeed style video, but I still click on all of them anyway. You can always tell if it's going to be one of those from the title, but they had one the other day or like 2 days ago called Musicians Talking About Satanism. And I was like, all right, interesting. And I clicked on it. And one interesting thing I'll say is that they play in that.
I watched it. That's how
that's him. Yeah. I saw him in that video. So crazy. Okay.
And that's right. That's why I thought about him. And I was like, I wonder what he does now. I haven't heard of that band. I actually don't even know a single song by that band, but I have a lot of people that in my life that loved them.
Nah, I think you have people in your life that loved the logo and loved Jackass and loved BAM and were willing to listen to garbage music and pretend to like it. I remember I threw Jeff's copy of that CD out the window. He was so mad. Wasn't I? But wait, he might have thrown. Oh, no, all I was going to say was she got chosen to be in the show. And so they gave her this wand and they were like, the wand chose you. And she's going zippity dippity bop or whatever. And mobilize. And all the fucking things are flying open. And then they're like $70, $65. It's yours. And I was like, fuck. So then we bought it. And it barely does anything. It's the most stupidest shit. There's a couple spots where you can wave it and it'll be like, hello, welcome, wand bearer.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, that's
Caroline of the Sea. Caroline of the Sea.
Well, I got some fun and exciting news for all the customers and sugmanuts and ligmanuts that have been with us for quite some time. I got a huge announcement.
What do you got?
And for anybody that, but you all understand, but anybody that doesn't, that's new, welcome. And we appreciate you being here with us. I'm Doug. This is Joel. This is our show. I didn't see it, but I believe you. This is episode 161. So this is a random post. Somebody I follow that I actually really like. That's on Facebook. But so no names mentioned. But I'm just gonna read the first couple lines. So Hoobastank and Lit are playing Schrader Hall next month.
Forgot about
Alien
this.
Ant Farm is opening. For those who don't know, Schrader Dance Hall is the second oldest dance hall in Texas, and it is like 20 miles away from where we grew up.
And is it that far?
Excuse me, 15 miles.
Well, yeah, that sounds more correct to me.
So, but with that said, it's what? I don't even know how to wrap my head around that. I am more perplexed by that than watching UAP videos.
So I want to be clear to everyone who doesn't realize what Doug is insinuating here. We are from an extremely small podunk like area of Texas with we have a lovely town. We're from a lovely town with lovely people, but it is what it is. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's got a lot of, it's a hub for a lot of different places, but it's not the kind of place bands come.
We're literally in the middle of everywhere.
I will say I'm blown away that things like that are happening, but they did have a pretty big show there a couple years ago too that I was pretty blown away by. And then the Chance the Rapper being in Gonzalez, like it's starting to get happen with such frequency that I'm starting to like get numb to it. But when I read Alien Ant Farm, Lit, and who is the other one? Hoobastank, is just crazy to think that they're going to be there, because like Lit had a number one once. Or maybe not even a number one, but like a pretty high on the Billboard once. And Alien Ant Farm had a couple of good songs, but were never massive. But
what was that one song? Lit
is My Own Worst Enemy and Come. Or You Make Me. You Make Me Come.
All right. I got to break off one more time.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell them about this. So, but the craziest shit is that Hoobastank had a couple number ones and multiple records and multiple instances of fairly large recognition and fame. So it is very bizarre to think that they're coming to our hometown. However, that being said, I mean, it's not like they're at their peak or anything. You're getting the wonders 50 years after that thing you do. It's still sick. and you're going to sing along to that thing you do, but it's not going to be like, you know, the same or whatever. Although they're not that. Hoobastank, I'm sure. And, you know, and to more power to them. I 1,000% can tell you Alien Ant Farm puts on a great show. I've seen them multiple times. I'm actually a pretty big fan of theirs. I think it's weird. I think it's... Huh?
How have you seen them multiple times?
Dude, they were only a one-hit wonder for people who weren't listening to very specific genre of alternative rock in the early 2000s. I was one of those people. Alien Ant Farm's record was pretty good, and there was a couple songs on it that really had crossover appeal for those of us who were like in the new metal and then moving into emo and shit. So I saw them, I think, twice. Lit, I've never seen. I've seen Hoobastank. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But anyway, so okay, it peaked at 51.
Yeah. So for those listening,
wild, Doug. Would you have guessed that it peaked at 51?
I figured it would have been at top 10 at least. I thought it would
at
be a lot bigger.
At least, bro, you couldn't escape that song. You could not escape that song. It's no surprise to me. I fucked my mind. It's energy.
That's pretty interesting, man.
It's very strange. Alien Ant Farm, and it's gonna be Smooth Criminal, and I'm gonna assume that it peaked at 25.
I'm curious how they got the rights to that, because they couldn't have made any money off of that, right?
There's a whole thing you can look up about that. I think I did one time, and it wasn't that interesting. But yeah, I think the label paid a lot of money for it. But you got to remember, Michael Jackson. Huh?
Are you clicking a pen?
No, my penis hurts.
Oh, that uncomfortable clicking sound is my wiener. Okay.
No, my penis, it hurts. It's funny that we're 30 minutes in and we actually have things we're going to talk about and we haven't touched them. I love that. I missed you. People are going to love this nice chill show where we talk about things. Okay. Oh, shit! Your boy was right! Okay, cool. So 23 for Smooth Criminal. They had another song, but I guess it never broke into the top 100 called Movies. It goes, and just like the movies, can be... That
song is relatively better because they wrote it, you know?
I love that song. I love that fucking song. That's the song that everybody loves.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Without me. No, we're not done. Hoobastank. I want to see, because my prediction is that Hoobastank actually hit #1 with The Reason.
Lead singer's name's Doug.
And the Wheeze. The lead singer's name.
What's this?
Whoa.
What does that say? Today you are what?
And just like...
And just like the movies, we made our Hoobastank. Lead singer's name's Doug of Hoobastank, just so everybody knows.
Dude, you know what's crazy? When you type that, the other band that came up was the big band that came last year, Everclear.
They came where?
To Schrader.
Oh, that's right.
I love them. I will buy you a garden, Dad.
Apparently, lead singer, apparently their live shows aren't very good.
I would believe it. Their albums aren't very good. Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Number 2. Why are you running away? I've been crawling in the dark.
Dude, hell yeah.
3. Good for them, dude. 3 in 2 years.
When he goes, looking for the... is it crawling in the dark? He just goes like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, don't leave this. Okay, because I want to know more. Will you look up how many #1s Korn had?
Fuck yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to blow away these kids' minds right now. Guys, I think Korn had multiple #1s.
I don't know why that sounded inappropriate, but don't say that again.
I'm going to blow these fucking kids' minds right now. I believe they had multiple #1s.
Wait, James Monkey Schaefer has his own? All right, what do you want to think? Oh, crap. I'm going to say 20. 5, I'm
You
in.
think they had 20? You think they're the most successful band of all time? I love it. I love the optimism.
10, final entry.
Oh, you mean just on the list? Wait. If you just mean on the list, I'm going to say they made the top 100 at least 15 times.
Okay, well, top 100. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go bold. 20. Top 10. 10.
5.
Okay. None,
Fuck, dude. What?
dude. And they only have 5 songs that made the top 10. Top 100.
Hold on. And
Can't
none
be
of
right.
them were on Follow the Leader.
I mean, Freak on a Leash Unplugged. What? That cannot be right. That cannot be right.
Dude, hold on. Hold the fuck on real quick. Here to Stay is from Untouchable. It's not terrible. Twisted Transistor is an awful song. Did My Time is the theme song to Lara Croft 2, so that kind of makes sense. Coming Undone, that's from the one that has the rabbit on the front. And then Freak on a Leash Unplugged. Dude, their Unplugged is notoriously one of the worst Unplugged of all time. I don't believe this.
No, this is ridiculous. This cannot be
Where
right.
is Freak on a Leash? Like, where is it? That was inescapable for an entire year.
Dude, TRL, they had Freak on a Leash was the first video to ever be retired on TRL.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should stop using TRL as a barometer. Okay, look up Limp Bizkit. I'm going to guess then that they never had any either. Fuck, I don't believe that, though. Rollin', I think, was the number 1, and I think Nookie probably actually was, too, dude. But I feel so weird knowing that Korn never even got a single top 10.
Dude, I don't think that's... I mean, I don't know how this Billboard chart stuff works, but I love that.
Hold on. Now I have a visitor. Yes?
I love how you...
Okay.
I thought you were
Hey,
just
John.
supposed to get your...
Oh, she came, dude. You're never gonna believe this bullshit. She came in to ask if she could have my headphones. What?
She's tired of hearing your dumbass voice. Dude, so Limp Bizkit, scroll down. I love how I look up Limp Bizkit on the Billboard charts and it's Limp Bizkit. I love that's like their name. And
Yeah,
Korn,
dude.
K with the K. Korn with the K.
All
Backwards
right,
R.
let's do this. I'm gonna predict 4 top 10s, and that's all I'm gonna aim for.
Yeah, that's like I'm gonna just say that they put it on the chart 10 overall and maybe 2 in the top 10 and 1 number 1. There has to be a number 1 from Limp Bizkit for some reason. Damn, only
What the
6.
fuck?
Wait a minute.
This one actually makes me think this is right, though, because Rollin' was their most popular song. Behind Blue Eyes would be the next most popular.
Really? My Way Beaten.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Nikki right there. Nikki's right there.
Okay. All right. Here, let's make this a little bit more interesting. What about
Brittany?
What about Nirvana?
Oh, good call.
At this point, I'm willing to wager they had 0 as well. Because I think what we're experiencing right now is a realization that we were in more of an echo chamber or a bubble than we realized. Because now that I'm thinking about it, you know what, the real big songs those years were always like Boyz II Men or Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey. Like, I bet if you look up Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey, that One Sweet or One Fine Day song, that shit was number 1 for like a year, I feel like.
Are we going to place our bets for Nirvana or are we just going to look?
No, I want to place bets. I'm going to say 0 top 10, 4 songs that charted. And I'm going to wager that all 4 songs charted well after he died.
I'm going to say that they're number 1. They had number 1 on the Billboard, and that is going to be Smells Like Teen Spirits, and they have 10 charted.
Hit it.
Boom. Top 10. God damn it. Smells Like Teen Spirit only peaked. What? This is crazy. Is the Billboard chart taking crazy things?
It's nuts that so far the most successful band by this barometer has been Hoobastank.
Have they? Oh, yeah, the Weezing.
Okay, who else? Guys, I hope you guys aren't too terribly bored by this. I want to do a couple more bands.
Who's next?
Okay. We need to get a buffer on this. So do NSYNC so we can see what a really successful pop band has.
Great idea, Joel.
I'm going to guess they had 8 number 1s and 20 on the charts.
Joey Fatone.
Poor guy. He hosts so much bullshit we watch on TV now.
Seems like a nice guy. Okay, what'd you say? Say it again.
I think they had 8 number ones and 20 songs on the charts.
I'm gonna go ahead and just.
8 top 10s. 8 top 10s and 20 on the charts.
Okay, that's a good bet. I like that. What's this? Okay, what did I do wrong? What's going on?
Nothing. I think there's just extra shit for really successful bands.
Lane, close the door, please. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hold on, let me just in sync billboard. You know, Joel, sometimes the best conversation is in silence. So it's no big deal.
I'm just waiting to see what pops up. I'm so sorry. I kind of forgot we were on a podcast right now.
No, and I kind of forgot that I can't even see you because it's like a phone call.
Listen to this.
Ugh, everything you're doing is disgusting. I can see you now. I switched over.
Okay, let's do this, baby. 8 top 10s, 20 on the charts for NSYNC. What do we got, baby?
Whoa. Only one hit. Only one top one.
Only one number one with It's Gonna Be Me. Bye Bye Bye. No number one for Bye Bye Bye. Keep scrolling, baby. 4 for Bye Bye Bye. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
My heart is too. Girlfriend. I didn't even know there was a song called Girlfriend. Dude, that's crazy.
If you were my girlfriend, or some shit like that.
I don't know.
Dirty pop, a lot of people ain't come around and now found a pen in my name. Get a brown with a pen of pressure, make a ring a body. Dirty pop.
What about Justin?
3 number ones, 10 charted. And I'm saying 3 number ones, 10 charted. The kids hate him now. It's so weird.
Who?
All the kids, like the youth, they really don't like him. He's like a joke to them.
Yeah, I guess Bieber bit the bullshit bullet too, huh?
Yeah, they don't like him either, bro.
Bro, I cannot believe. I mean, I don't know much about Kanye West or Ye, but man, that stuff.
Ye's wild now. Don't know what he's doing, bro.
Let's just do an over-under. You think Justin Timberlake's going to be better or worse than in ranking than NSYNC?
Better.
Over-under. All right, yeah, me too. I agree, better. Hey.
Yo, chill out, bro. Chill the fuck out. So for those of you who can't see this, Justin has 5 number ones, 19 top 10s, and 37 top 100s altogether. Let's give it up for Justin. What a fucking career, man. What a fucking career, bro.
Can't Stop the Feeling was on the charts 52 weeks. It was on and number 1 for 1 week. Mirrors was only number 2. Sexy Back was number 1 for 7 weeks.
Yo.
My Love.
How long was Can't Stop the Feeling at number 1?
1 week.
Okay. But Mirrors is such a bad song that I'm not surprised it's not number 1.
It's a bad song? I love that song.
That's the one where it's like, I'm looking back in the mirror, finding my staring back at me. Is that one? I fucking hate that song, bro. I do love that record, though. Both volumes of it, too. But that was like my least favorite song on there. Holy Grail. Fuck, I love that album.
Talking. Fuck. My Love. I was dating this gal one time. I was like really into her, and I was singing that like a lot of Justin Bieber a lot. And I remember being on Colin's front porch.
Out of this.
And she said, she just looked at me. She goes, "Stop singing."
I hear that all the time. Hey, can I show you this thing? It's called Super Neato. It's an orb. Okay, yeah, and then you can go. You can go.
Orb.
Do whatever you want with it. Slap it. Suck it, fuck it. You can do whatever you want with it.
I'm like, I was just getting ready if you tell me it's like the new way to have fucking animate objects.
It's a controller. You just push down on here and it mirrors.
This is a new remote.
It's my new remote. You just put your dick.
And you're like go to change the channel or YouTube or whatever. They pick something up like that. They're like.
So I'm sure not many people have seen it, but there's a very disturbing movie called Crimes of the Future. It's a new David Cronenberg picture, and it is quite disturbing. But there's a lot of like very squishy body part buttons and remotes and stuff like that. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you listening to this 45 minutes of just absolutely nonsensical conversation. Seems like the world is just kind of coming in hot with a bunch of different weird things since we've seen you last. And I just figured we would lay it all on the table, talk about what's what, what's really going on. So what's really going on with you guys? What's the deal with airplanes? What's the deal with, how do they stay up there? Do you ever wonder, like, they always say you have a much bigger chance of, like getting killed on the way to the airport than dying in an airplane. But have you ever thought, like, what's really going on with airplanes? Like, what would happen if you got on it and it just really did come down? Like, it fell down. And, like, what's keeping it up there, It's almost bizarre to think that we've been just letting ourselves go up there.
Shut up.
You shut up, fucking cockhead. I got to keep these fine people interested. I got to keep people in the loop with what's really going on.
Dude, the other day when I was texting you some bullshit, I was just like, man, I just wish you were right here so I could smack the living shit out of you.
Was it that time when I just wouldn't give in to your nonsense and I was sending you emojis?
No.
I was like, I'm not going to deal with Doug right now. I'm going to send him emojis. I was like, I can't do this right now.
Dealing with me, though.
No, just when you were doing that, I was getting my store shut down, and I was like, I don't have fucking time for this right now. I'm trying to figure out why I'm getting my shit locked down. So funny thing happened to me. I'll just tell everybody. I really don't give a shit. So everyone knows. I mean, clearly, I was not getting permission from the fine folks at the major studios for making any of my shit. Not many of these people are, and that's totally, it is what it is, man. It's not quite above board, but whatever. You're
talking about your hobby job. I think you're talking about your real job.
No, I'm talking about a hobby job. So I have done some really big properties, and I've done some things that belong to really major studios, and it's not. I'm not
some really bad things.
I'm not successful or even close to successful enough for me to pop on these people's radars. And I've gotten a couple emails, and I've talked to people, and it's always been cool. In fact, a couple of people who have reached out to be like, hey, knock this off, have also been like, hey, here's ways you can get away with it. So it's kind of been a fine thing. Well, as a joke, a couple nights ago, I decided to make a shirt for an extremely disturbing, controversial short film from well over a decade ago. It's for Ari Aster's short film, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. And I'm just spitballing here because, I don't have the inside scoop on this. However, the way it works is when you upload something, it very quickly will alert their copyright strike if you got one or whatever. So I want to be clear, like, this is not something that anyone even knows about. The amount of people who even are aware that this short film exists is a very small group. So that's another reason why I kind of am able to piece together exactly what happened. So whoever owns that has a stringent fucking copyright grasp on it. And as soon as I uploaded it, my store completely disappeared. And to be clear, like, I've gotten notifications before. They take down whatever you got the notification for unless you can prove that you can use it. But the rest of your store stays up and people can still purchase. This one thing, everything disappeared immediately. And it was like, hey, fucking prove to us you have the right to your shit or whatever. And then we'll let you have your shit back. But if I push that, if I poke that bear or whatever, I can't prove any of that shit or whatever. So that's gone, and I'm working on a website so we can do this a little bit differently. And that's all good.
Does this subject upset your tummy or something?
No, why?
You're all,
Oh no, I'm trying to finish without having to keep taking breaths because I realize I'm just rambling on and it's not that interesting. But
well, Joel's breathing's a really important part of existence. I don't know if you know that.
Hey, okay, so let's move on to the things we actually wanted to talk about. We watched Hellraiser a couple weeks ago, and you and I have not stopped to have a chance to talk about it yet. So what did you think about it?
Wee, wee, wee. Are we doing spoiler alerts?
No. Actually, we are because from here on out, we got 10 minutes, and I want to talk about two different things as well. So spoilers for all of this shit. Let's just lay it on the table. Yeah. Say what you liked. Say what you didn't like. I'm going to warn everyone right now. If you have not seen, all right, what, Doug?
We got to get off in 10 minutes because the next show comes on, right, Joel?
Yeah, the next show.
We can stay on as long as the hell we want.
No, you're right.
We don't have to get off. We can stay on forever.
I mostly just meant like I was warning people that for like at least the next 10 minutes, there's going to be spoilers for Hellraiser, Halloween Ends.
At the 50 mark.
Fuck, Hellraiser, Halloween Ends. Sorry, I'm trying to see what else I wanted to spoil on here this week.
Imagine if they they made Battleship a movie, the board game.
Yeah, I love that movie.
What?
That movie bangs, dude.
I'm gonna watch it. Imagine they made one after Sorry.
They're making one of Trouble.
No.
Yeah, and Shoots and Ladders. And Candyland too, I think.
Well, day late, fucking idiot short, and I.
I'm just kidding. They're not making one of Trouble. I don't even know what Trouble is.
Jokes on me.
Jokes on you, dickhead. You should have made one out of fucking Checkers. Okay, so spoilers for those things. Doug, how did you feel about Hellraiser?
The board game movie for Sorry would be crazy because it'd be like a real depressing thing. They're all like killing they're all dying of drug overdoses and stuff, but in candy ways or in board game ways.
Have you played Sorry?
No.
I think you might be thinking of a different game called The Game of Life.
It'd be like video game pieces going through like serious traumas and just searching for forgiveness. So Hellraiser, yes, Hellraiser was freaking okay. So for those that don't know, I'm new to horror. Been watching horror, I think, for about 7 years now, and Hellraiser is something that I really took a liking to. It was like, so I had like this grasp on the story and the somewhat of the filmography of it and stuff like that. So I thoroughly liked the new movie. Like I did.
Yeah.
It's not like it's in it was a slow burn. It started off with a little bit of action, slow burn, and then like right about the 50 minute mark, I believe, is like when it really, turns it up, turns the gas on, lights, cooking with fire.
It's actually almost exactly the 45-minute mark when things kick off.
Yeah, some good body horror and stuff. But like there's just a few things that I just couldn't get behind, and I'll let you take it, dude.
Let me just give my initial thoughts, and we'll meet back at that because that's where I'm going to end up as well. I thought it was okay. I thought it was enjoyable. In the moment, I was like, fuck yeah. I hated the first 40 minutes. I didn't think it worked at all. I thought the biggest issue with it is it's clearly written. It's written in a way that it needed really good actors to make it work because they didn't take it too complex. They kept it pretty surface level. Like some of these people are gay. Some of these people are recovering addicts. Some of these people have trauma. This is her brother. This is his boyfriend. Like there was very surface level things going on, and you could have elevated them if the acting was above the level of like a CW show. But the only actor that's human in the movie that's any good is the lead. And she is good, but man, the people around her are so rough that it makes that initial 40 minutes pretty rough to get through, I thought. But that being said, when it gets to the 40-minute mark, it really kicks off. And I also have issues with some things that happen in it, but I had a lot of fun with it. And that's my initial reaction to it. I had a lot of fun with it. It kind of falls apart the more you think about it. In the moment, it works pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great visuals, like seriously, like good, like, you know, it's pretty easy to turn my stomach. So a lot of good body horror and stuff, in my opinion.
I thought I thought that Roland's thing, the way that the tendons were turning his gears, that was really, I thought, a very visceral image. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that was cool. And like the explanation behind that torture device is like the only, like, it doesn't allow him to get numb. So it's excruciating pain every time it turns.
It's a sensation. It's a sensation that they find pleasurable, which I do have to say I found was very. I know that we knew this from the initial flicks, but like I found it an interesting way. The way they presented that, like there was almost this innocence to the, and I say innocence in like the most broad use of the word for the Cenobites, and where like multiple times in this one they were kind of described and portrayed as being like so 100% unaware of everything else that's going on. Like they do, she's like, oh, we thought you wanted, we gave you the pleasure that you wanted. He's like, but it's not the kind of pleasure humans want. And they're just like, oh, my mistake. Like it's so funny.
But that's what I like about, you're saying they did show that in this movie? Is that what you're saying? Yes. So I like that too. Because in the book, the book, the Cenobites do have an instance to them, and like they you know, it's not. I always get confused. I always get trample over my words like this because they're not good, but they're not bad. Like what's the quote that I love that so much?
Angels
Joel,
to some, demons to others.
Yeah, and so it's like in this one they kind of like really they don't even have to say it. It's like they're just there. Like you summoned us, so you want this, and this is how. And if you don't want to do this is how you move on, or this, you know, they pretty much give you all the parameters, and it's like, and you're like talking, it's almost like, shouldn't you be like getting stabbed in the face or something right now? But like they're like,
but that's not what they're about, which I love.
And the Cenobites are described as being essentially traitors, like TRADER.
Yeah,
like
they're like trading in flesh and blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there is a bargain ship. Like this is a part of what we do. Like so that's pretty cool. And also they when it comes to the Hell Priest, they did a really Pinhead. I love.
Well, in this she was literally. You're right though. In this she was just the priest. They reference to her as the priest. So I guess that's what we're going by this franchise or this iteration of the franchise. Unless someone just decides to be like, hey, it's Pinhead in the next one.
Well, I mean, I think it's just like, well, Pinhead is never really called. It's never called Pinhead in the first one.
That's fair.
So it's like,
but he is credited as Pinhead, though.
Well, it's probably just just because they have to pay Douglas Bradley somehow, And so, and then when it comes to, imagine if it was just like Monster Number 1,
Right? No, totally. And
so,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, but I love all that, and I really like that. But another thing is though, you're right. They do a good job. Showing that they're just this is just what we do. You summoned us, so that we thought this is what you want, and if you don't like it, well, it's too late now, and you can get somebody, but you got to give us something else. But sometimes, like it was a little bit too. Like, okay, come on. Like, the slow moving Cenobites, and they're like running.
So before you get to that, because that's where I'm actually going to go with it too. But I do want to point out one thing that I loved before, because it does take a noticeable dip in the last 15, maybe like the last 10. The action is still cool and it's still happening, and it's still a horror movie, and it's finally unfolding. It's in its climax. But I would say somewhere between like the 10-minute mark and the 5-minute mark, or no, like that 15-minute mark. In the 5-minute mark, that the 10 minutes in there take kind of a dive. I actually love the last 5 minutes or 2 minutes. But that being said, one of the last great things that happens before it kind of gets into like cliche horror territory, which is what I have a problem with, and I think you do too. I love that she. So what happens essentially is the priest tells her, "Give me 2 more bodies, and I'll give you your brother back." And obviously, we know that deal would have worked out poorly anyway. The brother she got back probably would have been fucked up in some indescribable way, and she would have been stuck with it. But she tries a trick and gives the box one of the Cenobites. And I fucking love that it just worked. There was no the priest just kind of smirks and does it, and it's like the priest gives her one. Like, all right, fuck it. And I loved that.
Yeah, and so, but like there is like some scenes like where they're like running, like or like like they're like running away from them, and it's like you really don't have to run away from them. You just have a brisk walk and get away.
Or just a conversation. You could just talk to him, and which is where the movie takes this sharp kind of left turn into weird territory that it's never been in before. Where so the twist of the movie is that Roland, the main antagonist, who's human, has been sort of feeding the box humans vis-a-vis our main character's boyfriend. So they get to his house, which is like this castle that has all these traps and is made of like, fucking metal or whatever. And this, to me, was so fucking stupid that he has somehow built a puzzle box that can trap the Cenobites, and it's a house. And it just takes such a left turn into like random horror villain can't get through the door. And I fucking hated that so much, dude.
It's like, I didn't even like being in the. I didn't like the movie and being in the house, really.
I didn't either. The imagery still kind of worked, but it just felt like a different movie, right? It felt like it had a very limited understanding of the horror of Hellraiser, and they were like, we got to wrap this up somehow, put him in the house and have him fight.
But like the way that they open the gateways and the dimensions and the blue lights and the bell ringing and the dimension bells.
Shots when they're in the house, yes, are stunning. The shot of the house, the wide photo lens shot of the house with the lightning striking it is stunning, and such a fucking nice.
Leviathan,
yes,
like
the Leviathan shit was awesome, man. And the final shot of the movie of him rising up there. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, before we get there, I just want to make a note that the whole entire the box, the puzzle box, the lament configuration, it's actually called the Lamachan box or Lamachan puzzle, but the configuration that we all know, it's called the lament configuration.
I was
I guess
trying to say that when we talked about Hellraiser the first time. That's what I was trying to, I just couldn't word it right, but the different ways the puzzle looks are different configurations, and the one that dude got was Leviathan.
Yeah, sure. And well, Leviathan's the one that whoever has the possession of Leviathan is the one that gets to make a wish or whatever. So that was pretty interesting how they did all of that. I mean, the puzzle box itself, the MacGuffin of the puzzle box, it was badass in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Every configuration just looks sick as hell. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's all I wanted to throw in there.
Well, so the final moments of the movie, Roland, the antagonist, unlocks Leviathan, and it grants him power, which is what he craved, because he, in the end, the sensation of pleasure that he receives, he does not get it unless it's through power. And I thought was interesting. The priest sort of says, like, you're way more fucked up than we thought you were. Whoops, we'll give you the power because you seem like you're nuts, and you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it how we want you to, which is like painfully. And so he sort of ascends to the heavens in this very fucking gothic like interpretation of a cross, all fucked up and strapped to it. And that's maybe my favorite shot in the whole franchise. I thought that was so sick. I just kind of paused it and was like looking at it, like, and I wanted to make it my Facebook or my Instagram post, but I didn't want to spoil the end of the movie. But I was like, man, this is so sick. I was just about to say I want to put it on a t-shirt, but I guess I fucking can't now.
It's like a DMT approach. Like the whole entire like patterns, like the geometric patterns that keep moving and stuff, very DMT-ish. The colors might not be. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's not different colors, but it's like he's in the presence of God. The Leviathan or whatever. I really enjoyed that. And on that shirt, if you had that whole entire pattern, like a tie dye, but that pattern, but not tie dye, and then have him right there, that'd be freaking dope.
Yeah, that would be dope. So, final thoughts on Hellraiser. It was a 7 out of 10 for me. I dug it. I'm interested to see where they take it. It's certainly better than every sequel we've gotten since the early 2000s. It's nowhere near the original 3 for me.
I'm actually surprised that you said 7. I thought you were going to say something more like 5 or 6. But for me, just like not really knowing how to break down a film in general, especially a horror film, a 7 to 8 is probably like 7.5 is like where I'm at.
No, for sure. And to be very clear, like I think a lot of modern horror films sort of fall in that very comfortable 7. The problem is that we have a company, A24, who's pumping out horror, and you can say, like, I know there's been kind of a backlash against them, and they have dropped a couple stinkers in my opinion lately, but they sort of have swung for the fences with horror recently, with Hereditary, Midsummer, The Lighthouse, and pictures like that, where it's like it's making it pretty difficult for a horror picture to come around and not hit in such a visceral way that like you want to give it. Dude, I like Midsummer, Hereditary, these are 9s and 10s for me. Like, that being said though, So I think modern horror is kind of fighting an uphill battle around pictures like that. But that being said, these franchise pictures are my fucking lifeblood. I love them. I thought it was fine. I liked it a lot. I will definitely watch it again. Let's move on. I know you haven't watched this one, to Halloween Ends. I will be very quick. Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe. I'm going to flat out spoil this movie 100%. So Halloween Ends is a super, super interesting, bizarre, not good, in my opinion, movie that's wrapping up not only this current trilogy, but has been marketed and is the finale to this 44 years of Michael Myers and Laurie. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. So the first one, the 2018 one, is essentially a remake of Halloween. It works very well. When I say it's a remake of Halloween, I mean, it's not. It's a sequel. But it definitely mostly just recreates the pastiche of the original Halloween and kind of puts us in the position where the movie ends with Laurie and her granddaughter and her daughter. Laurie and her daughter and her granddaughter killing Michael Myers by locking him in her home and burning him alive. And the movie ends with him being burned alive and then opening his eye or moving his hand or something. The classic fucking horror ending, right? But that movie's actually really, really, really well made. It's got some poor moments, but it's well made. It was very critically well received, and it made like $250 domestic, which is just stupid money. It cleaned up at the box office. So immediately they were like, we're doing a sequel. But we're not just doing one sequel, we're doing 2 sequels. This is now a trilogy. And I was on board with it, dude. And so the first sequel we got was Halloween Kills last year. And I am probably one of the only people who is willing to publicly go on record and say that I love that movie. It's my favorite of the trilogy. It's mean-spirited, it's vicious, it's cruel, it's just violence for violence sake. There's almost zero plot to it. They sideline Laurie through like the whole thing. But I thought this is the second piece of a trilogy. It needs to be the meat. And then we're going to get dessert in the third one. They're going to wrap everything up, give us the plot and the exposition. We've now gotten the big massacre. Now we can move into plot. Instead, and just to be clear, those first 2 movies, they take place on the same night. And I knew we were probably not going to stay on the same night, but I thought we'd stay in the same range. So Kills ends with the entire town coming together to fight Michael Myers and him winning. He massacres like the whole town and then just disappears. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So this movie starts 4 years later. And I'm going to go straight into what's crazy about it. Immediately, they introduce that Michael Myers has been vanished for 4 years. Okay. We do not see Michael Myers. There is no Michael Myers. The movie starts with some random dude who's supposedly like 22 and he's getting bullied by, oh no, I'm sorry. Let me just start at the top. So this movie starts with this random guy named Corey who's babysitting, and he's got this shit fucking kid that he's babysitting, and the kid fucking hates him, and the kid locks him in a closet and is tormenting him basically. Yeah, Corey's locked in the closet. Nah, nah. And Corey's like afraid for some reason. So he's like, let me out of here, Billy, or whatever. Like, God damn it, let me out. And right as this is happening, the parents come home. And and Corey's yelling, I'm going to kill you when I get out of here. I'm going to kill you. And they walk in and hear him say, I'm going to kill you. And he finally bursts through the door and hits the kid in the head. And the kid flips over the staircase and breaks his neck and dies in front of the parents.
Oh my God.
No, the scene is awesome. It's so funny. When the kid dies, it's so fucking funny because you hate that kid already. But anyway, so the parent looks up and sees Corey, and he's holding a knife because he grabs a knife when he's in the closet because he's scared. And he just yelled, I'm going to kill you. And he just killed their son. So they think he killed him. Anyway, then we cut to...
Well, he did kill him.
But not on purpose, though, and not with a knife. So anyway, we cut to 4 years later, and he is... it's now 4 years later from that. And that's the same night that the past 2 movies have been on. Okay, so anyway, we cut to 4 years later, and we just follow him for a fucking hour and a half. He gets bullied. He meets the granddaughter, and they fall in love literally instantly. She looks at him and music's like, doo, 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 and they fall in love. It's insane. She's obsessed with him immediately, which is completely different than her character has been the entire rest of these movies. Laurie, just to be clear, in the first movie, in the 2018 movie, Laurie is fully aware that Michael has been locked up in an institution 100% guarded and away from her. for 40 fucking years. And she still has traps and learns how to shoot shotguns and has all these firing ranges at her house and booby traps. She's traumatized, okay?
She knows the day will
Exactly,
come.
exactly. And in Halloween Kills, her fucking entire town and her daughter get murdered by this dude, okay? So you would think she must be really fucked up now, right? Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. It's 4 years later, and she has a voiceover where she says she learned not to let fear control her life, and now she bakes pies. She makes pies, Doug. There's a whole scene where she's like, oh my God, I'm baking a pie. And then she tells her granddaughter, she has this amazing line where she tells her granddaughter, basically, sorry your mom got murdered by this dude who's chasing me for 40 fucking years. Sometimes you just got to rip open your shirt and show grief your fucking tits. And I'm sitting here going, who the fuck wrote this? What is happening right now, right? Laurie's insane in this movie. She has no trauma from any of the things that have happened, even though in the past... Huh?
Does she rip her shirt open to show grief?
No, she doesn't. But anyway, so cut back to Corey. Corey finds Michael Myers in the sewer and just beats him up and takes his mask and becomes Michael Myers for like the last 30 minutes of the movie. And then he sneaks into Laurie's house to kill Laurie, and Laurie attacks him and thinks he's Michael Myers. And she's about to kill him, and he goes, if I can't have her, nobody can. And he stabs himself and kills himself. And then just like fucking clockwork, the granddaughter comes in and is like, oh my God, you killed my fucking boyfriend. I'm leaving. And so she leaves. And the second she leaves, here comes Michael from the fucking sewer, I guess. And he gets his mask back. And Laurie stabs him in the face and then crucifies him on the kitchen counter and then passes him through the entire town while they have a funeral procession. And then they drop him into the fucking car crusher and tear him to a million pieces. And then the movie's over. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. And all these fucking people, myself included, will point out that the font of the opening credits is Halloween 3's font, which famously didn't have Michael Myers in it. And oh my God, he's playing with expectations and he's subverting what we want. And there's no Michael in this one either, except fuck that, because that doesn't fucking matter. It's still a bullshit movie. And anyway, so that's fun. Well, that's all I got.
Thanks for listening to another episode of I Believe You. I'm Doug.
I'm Joel. We'll see you next week for another fucking episode.
Click right here to subscribe, and where Joel's pointing to watch last week's episode. And yeah, follow us on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, and Google, and the rest of them too. Stitcher's on there as well. Thanks.
And get plus.
Yeah.